Have you ever truly considered what it looks like when an entire civilization teeters on the brink? When the foundations of an empire built over centuries begin to crack and crumble, unleashing a storm of chaos, ambition, and desperate heroism? Imagine a world where loyalty is the rarest and most precious jewel, and the fight for power can turn brother against brother, friend into foe. Welcome everyone to General Draw. I'm so thrilled you're here. Today, we are embarking on an epic journey into one of the most monumental tales ever conceived, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. We're going to be recapping the earth-shattering events that ignite this legendary saga, events typically covered in the opening handful of episodes in most adaptations. But we won't just stop at what happens. We'll delve into the profound human truths, the cycles, history, and the enduring questions about morality and leadership that this story forces us to confront. If you're someone who loves to peel back the layers of grand, sweeping narratives and explore the beating heart of epic storytelling, especially from historical dramas that have shaped cultures, then you have absolutely found your sanctuary. Do make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of our explorations into these incredible worlds. Our saga unfurls in a China where the once resplendent Han Dynasty, a beacon of power and culture for 400 years, is now a flickering candle in a gathering storm. The signs of decay are everywhere. Famines ravage the countryside, plagues sweep through villages, and the common people groan under the weight of crushing taxes and corrupt local officials. The imperial court in the capital, Luoyang, is a nest of vipers. At its heart are the 10 attendants, a group of eunuchs who have masterfully manipulated their way into positions of immense influence, effectively controlling the young, inexperienced emperor. They live in opulence, their whispers dictating policy, while the cries of the suffering populace go unheard. It's this perfect storm of despair and injustice that finally ignites the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Led by three brothers, Zhang Zhu, Zhang Bao, and Zhang Leng, who tap into mystical Taoist beliefs and promise a new era of the Yellow Heaven, this isn't just a small protest, it's a colossal peasant uprising. Millions tie yellow scarves around their heads, a stark symbol of their defiance, and rise up against the corrupt Han regime. The land is plunged into brutal, widespread conflict. It's a visceral depiction of what happens when the social contract between rulers and ruled is irrevocably broken. Can you even imagine the desperation that would drive so many to risk everything? From the ashes of this rebellion, heroes begin to forge their legends. We are introduced to Liu Bei, a man with a lineage tracing back to the Han emperors, yet he lives a modest life as a weaver of straw mats. But within him burns a deep compassion for the people and a powerful desire to restore justice and stability to the fractured empire. He is the embodiment of benevolence and righteousness. Soon, his path crosses with Zhang Fei, a butcher and local strongman, is boisterous and fierce as a thunderstorm, with a booming voice and an equally explosive temper, but possessing an unshakable loyalty and a simple, direct sense of right and wrong. And then there's the unforgettable Guan Yu, a peerless warrior with an imposing presence, often depicted with his magnificent long beard and wielding his legendary green dragon crescent blade. He is a man of immense martial skill, unwavering honor, and profound loyalty, a fugitive who finds common cause with Liu Bei. These three, sensing the monumental crisis gripping the land and recognizing in each other a shared vision and a profound bond, meet in a blooming peach garden. There, they make a sacred vow, not as master and servants, but as brothers. They swear to support each other in their quest to save the country and the people, to face every peril together, and to live and die as one. This oath of the peach garden is more than just a promise, it's a spiritual commitment that becomes a cornerstone of the entire saga, a shining ideal of brotherhood that'll be tested time and time again. What would it take for you to make such a profound vow? With their hearts united, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei raise a small volunteer militia. Despite their meager resources, their courage, and the combined might of Guan Yu's strategy and martial prowess, Zhang Fei's ferocious charges and Liu Bei's inspiring leadership earn them significant victories against the Yellow Turban forces. They begin to carve out a reputation for themselves as defenders of the people. During these campaigns, we also encounter other figures who are destined to become titans of this era. Most notably, there's Cao Cao, a man of sharp intellect, a brilliant military tactician, and a shrewd statesman who's already serving as a mid-level officer. He is acutely aware of the Han's decay and the dangerous incompetence of those in power. While he initially appears devoted to the emperor, there's an undeniable glint of ambition in his eyes, a pragmatism that often borders on ruthlessness. He sees the world with a chilling clarity, and one can't help but wonder what truly drives him. Even as the Yellow Turban Rebellion is eventually quelled, thanks to the efforts of imperial generals and volunteer forces like Liu Bei's, the rot within the Han court remains. The 10 attendants continue their machinations, their greed insatiable. The emperor's own brother-in-law, the Grand General He Jin, attempts to rid the court of their venomous influence. He hatches a plan, but his indecisiveness and a fatal misjudgment lead to him being lured into a trap within the palace and brutally assassinated by the eunuchs. This act of brazen violence throws the capital into utter chaos.
Generals loyal to He Jin storm the palace, slaughtering the eunuchs in retaliation.
It's a bloodbath. And into this power vacuum strides Dong Zhuo, a brutal and ambitious warlord from the remote northwestern frontier, leading his formidable army, seasoned in harsh border conflicts. With him is his adopted son, the warrior Liu Bei, a man whose combat prowess is said to be unmatched by any other, a terrifying force in nature on the battlefield, though often portrayed as arrogant and easily swayed. Dong Zhuo, ostensibly there to restore order, swiftly seizes complete control of Luoyang and the imperial court. He's a figure of pure, unadulterated tyranny. He dethrones the young Emperor Shao and installs an even younger child, Emperor Shan, as his puppet, declaring himself chancellor. His rule is marked by shocking cruelty and opulence. He massacres those who oppose him, loots the imperial tombs, and indulges in decadent feats while the people starve. He even allows his soldiers to pillage the capital. He moves the capital west to Chang'an to escape the growing discontent, forcing the entire population in the court to relocate, burning Luoyang to the ground behind him. It's a reign of terror. Don't you just feel a sense of outrage at such blatant abuse of power? This unbearable tyranny forces conscientious officials and commanders to act. Cao Cao, initially trying to navigate the treacherous court politics under Dong Zhuo, eventually decides that the tyrant must be eliminated. He volunteers for a daring assassination attempt using a borrowed precious 7-star dagger. The scene is incredibly tense as Cao Cao gets close to Dong Zhuo, but a moment's hesitation, perhaps Dong Zhuo catching his reflection in a mirror, foils the plan. Cao Cao, quick-witted as ever, pretends to be merely presenting the dagger as a gift and then makes a hasty escape. Now a fugitive with a price on his head, Cao Cao flees Luoyang. It's during this escape that a famous and morally ambiguous incident occurs. He seeks refuge with an old family friend, Liu Bei. While Liu Bei is away arranging for provisions, Cao Cao overhears sounds he misinterprets as Liu Bei's family plotting to kill him for the reward. In a fit of paranoia, he slaughters the entire household, only to discover they were merely preparing to slaughter a pig for his dinner. When Liu Bei returns, Cao Cao, fearing discovery, even kills him too. It's a chilling moment, often accompanied by his supposed, quote, "I would rather betray the world than let the world betray me." This event reveals the terrifying depths of his pragmatism and ruthlessness. Yet, it is this same Cao Cao who then forges an imperial edict, a powerful call to arms, urging all regional governors, nobles, and warlords to unite. He paints Dong Zhuo as a traitor and calls for a righteous coalition to march on the capital, overthrow the tyrant, and rescue the Han Emperor. This call resonates across the fractured empire. Warlords with their own armies and ambitions begin to gather, each seeing an opportunity or a duty to act. The stage is now set for a colossal confrontation, a grand alliance against a common foe, but an alliance fraught with its own internal rivalries and distrust. These initial episodes perfectly capture the descent into chaos and the desperate emergence of figures who believe they can or must reshape destiny. Let's take a moment to consider the sheer scale of what we're witnessing. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the novel penned by La Guansheng in the 14th century, draws upon historical records from the 3rd century, a period of immense upheaval. It's often described as 7 parts truth, 3 parts fiction, meaning it embellishes historical events and characters for dramatic effect, creating archetypes that have resonated for centuries. Think about that, a story so powerful it has captivated imaginations for over 600 years. When various TV series or films adapt this, they are tapping into this incredibly rich wellspring of narrative. The events of these early episodes are so critical because they meticulously lay the thematic foundations for everything that follows. The crumble in Han Dynasty isn't just a backdrop, it's a profound statement on the consequences of corruption, the loss of the mandate of heaven. Heaven, that ancient Chinese concept where rulers are believed to govern by divine right, but only so long as they're just and effective. Dong Zhuo's rise isn't merely a story of a bad guy, it's a stark exploration of how power, unchecked and absolute, inevitably corrupts, turning men into monsters. What does this truly signify for the character of a nation when such a figure can seize control? Is Dong Zhuo an aberration or a symptom of a deeper societal sickness? The story compels us to ponder such questions. The core themes of loyalty, personified by the unwavering bond of Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei, Peach Garden Oath, and betrayal, which we see in the court intrigues and Dong Zhuo's actions, are central. Then there's the relentless pursuit of ambition, driving characters like Cao Cao, who walks a fine line between savior and opportunist.
The very definition of heroism is constantly questioned. Is it Liu Bei's compassionate idealism?
Guan Yu's martial righteousness?
Or Cao Cao's pragmatic, if sometimes brutal efficiency in trying to restore order?
The film or series is suggesting that perhaps heroism itself is complex and multifaceted, especially in times of crisis. The brilliance here lies in how these personal journeys, these intimate struggles of loyalty and ambition, are painted on the vast canvas of a collapsing empire.
The yellow turbans symbolize the desperation of the oppressed, while the opulent, corrupt court symbolizes the decay from within.
Even the coalition forming against Dong Zhuo, a moment that should be hopeful, is already shadowed by the individual ambitions of its members. Is true unity even possible when so many powerful egos are involved?
This is a fascinating way the film illustrates the inherent difficulties in forging order out of chaos.
The narrative doesn't just tell you what happened, it invites you to feel the weight of these decisions, the moral complexities, and the human cost of it all. I am truly eager to hear your perspectives on these initial world-shattering events from Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Which character's motivations do you find most compelling or perhaps most troubling?
Do you believe Cao Cao's actions, like the Liu Bei incident, can ever be justified by his larger goals? What does the Oath of the Peach Garden represent to you in today's world?
Please share your insightful thoughts and passionate opinions in the comments section below.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to General Drama and enable notifications because we have so many more epic tales and deep analyses coming your way.
Thank you so much for joining me on this dive into the heart of an empire in turmoil. I look forward to exploring another chapter of history and drama with you all very soon.